Hello everyone, welcome back to Work of Art. Happy to see you guys back. Today I'm going to do a video on skincare and mostly things that dermatologists talk about and recommend. A lot of doctors don't trust a lot of the over-the-counter products in department stores and things like that. They don't feel like it's really the best formulas and the basic formulas that are kind of formed by science and by a lot of development and all that. They're probably better and safer and all that, but they're not always as much fun. Sometimes they can actually sting. So I kind of wanted to play around with some things a little bit and see what works best for me. I've bought a few products that I had not used before and found that some are good from the drugstore and some are not, and I'll just kind of go through that in a different order actually. So first I'll talk about, the first thing I like to do is for exfoliation. I like to do a brightening kind of thing to exfoliate dead skin cells and make my skin glowy and bright and smooth and all that. So years ago when I was really young and I was at the doctor's office, I found some alpha hydrox products in the bathroom at the clinic, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I thought it was kind of a strange little thing, and so I ended up going to the drugstore and buying one myself when I was shopping with my mother. And it's brightening. It's a 10% glycolic acid. Paul Begone likes this from Paul's Choice. So this is a product that's been around for a long time. They have new versions of it. It's big, it's cheap, and it's affordable, and I order it online usually, but this is a really good one for brightening. So if you had been doing a lot of exfoliation, if you've been doing a lot of like retinol, retin A, things like that, and you had some flakes that are kind of hanging around the next day, you want to get them off, you could use this to actually gently remove those things by just putting it on as a moisturizer and then allowing the glycolic acid to kind of lift off the little cells that are on the skin. And glycolic acid has a small molecule, so it can get in a little bit deeper than some of the other ones like lactic and things like that, mandelic. So anyway, so that's a really nice way to give your skin a smoother surface. So now, going from there, let's go into like retinols and retin A, things like that. So I have a couple of different options here. First I bought one at the drugstore, and this was actually at Walmart. And this was kind of a big fat kind of cheapy one here. But this basically is retinol. Retinol mixed with a couple different ingredients in there. So you have green tea, aloe, chamomile, and the retinol is kind of partway down the list on there. Anyway, so that one basically is retinol is not the fastest way to get a product into the skin to change your skin and really make a big difference, but over time, if you do it all the time, it can work. I thought I'd use this on my arms and my chest and my hands and like that, so I wouldn't get like lots of spots and things like that. So this one here is a pump top kind of thing like that. It's a spa size. I bought it at Walmart, and it's kind of a nice texture to it. I don't know that it will do a lot of wowy stuff, but it is a nice way to get some retinol on your body and have it be affordable. So I'll get that out of the way here. So now I also have a Roche-Posay makes a retinol, and this one was actually right from France, and this is it's another version of it. So anytime you have a retinol, and it's not a tretinoin or something like that, the retinol is basically going to be something that has to go into the skin, has to be absorbed into the skin, and then there's a change that happens in the body that creates a way for that product to actually be effective. But to put it in the skin takes a while for it to actually work through that. But it is a really good way to work on anti-aging if you're kind of doing the next step beyond like a cheaper retinol like this. This one's a more so it's by La Roche-Posay, and it's called Redermic. So this is a nice one. And this is something you'd use if you were, again, working your way up to going to a true retinol. So now I have a Differin. Differin is one that came out in the market. This was actually was always a prescription drug, and then they and it really was focused mostly on acne and also on melasma. I don't have melasma. I have freckles. My freckles are from just genetics. That's just the kind of color I got on my skin as I grew up in my family, So, but this one basically would work for melasma, which is pigmentation for areas where maybe you've had a baby, or you've, just different experiences where you've had a different kind of action on the skin, and melasma is going to be a little bit different. So this would work great for different would be great for melasma probably for this one, and then it might have worked for me too. But what I really wanted for me actually was not so much. I don't really have acne. I don't have acne. I don't have melasma. But I do have getting lines, wrinkles from just being older, and I've been wanting to have my skin be more plump and more smooth and more even and less lines, and maybe less freckles, things like that. So that's where you want to go to actual Retin A. So that's also called Tretinoin. So I have my Tretinoin here. This is my prescription that I got. I got a year ago. I've been very efficiency with it because it's really strong. I put some on Sunday, and yesterday I started just peeling like no other. It was just crazy. I was cracking everywhere, and it was basically after putting it on one time, after 6 days later, that's how much activity I had on my skin. So here's how little I had left my tube. So I need to buy a new tube, and I can still get some more out of this one here. But this one really is, it's very, very potent. So the best way I think for this to be used is to actually do it like once a week at first, and then maybe do every third day, something like that, to kind of work a system out. But this one actually works differently than Differin. Basically, there's different receptors in the skin. So you have the epidermis, you have the dermis, epidermis, the hypodermis. So basically, Differin actually works into the top of the epidermis. It does not affect down in the dermis. So this is not going to, it'll be great for acne again, it'll be great for pigmentation. It's not going to do anything for lines and wrinkles under the skin, like the way that your skin functions and where the shapes are, the angles of all those things like that, where you should have more repair ingredients kind of happening in the skin. It's not going to be happening in that because of the receptors. So receptors basically, and I have a book on it actually, there's a couple receptors that respond to Differin, which is also called Adapalene, and then the other ones have the other versions of Tretinoin, all different forms of Tretinoin. These are all in the lower part of the dermis, and that's where you're actually going to have more plumping, more structure, more fullness, just better anti-aging, de-aging looks in the skin. So that's what I have there. So that's kind of, I'm going to have to get another one of those. It's $180 because I don't have a prescription for it because I don't have acne. If you had acne, if you were a young person and you had acne and they look at your skin, they see you have acne, and they will give you the prescription with, because they see that it's a problem. But when you're a little bit older and you're not a child anymore and you don't have acne and you want something that's going to be helpful, they're going to charge you a lot of money for it. So that's what they did to me. And I'll have to keep on paying for it because it's still worthwhile to me. So now I have another option, another couple things I want to talk about. I basically also was studying, I've been following a cosmetic chemist, a couple pharmacists, and a dermatologist, actually all on YouTube. And I'm watching their videos and kind of learning from that. And there was a study done that they did a double-blind study where they did, on one side of the face, they did not arbutin. Arbutin is kind of a version of that, but I can't think of the name now. Kind of the bleaching stuff. I'm like, for goodness sake, it'll come back to me. Anyway, so they basically did like half sides. They did niacinamide one side, and they did alpha-arbutin. What the heck? Anyway, I feel really silly about this. So anyway, so basically that one did not do as well. So I'm gonna put that aside and just can't feel that name again. That makes me crazy. So anyway, basically this is one way to get niacinamide. And this niacinamide actually did a better job than the other product. So I like the idea much better. So I have it in this form that I'm not going to use because this is the yucky version. And then this one actually here is has the niacinamide at the top of the list. So this actually has niacinamide, and it does actually have a little bit of a stinging effect to me because of the chemical blockers that are in here. So there's homosalate, Redermic, a new one I've never heard of before, octinoxate, octocrylene, and zinc oxide, which is a really good mineral sunscreen. So it has mineral and chemicals, but it does sting. So that's kind of a problem for me. I just don't like to have things sting. So that's just an SPF. It's a 30 SPF. It really is a great formula, but it's hard when your skin's delicate, and especially if you're using the retinol or Retin A like that. So I'm going to try and work up to that, but that's kind of hard to stomach, I guess. And then I also have my moisturizing CeraVe moisturizer, which is basically, I have the cleanser and I have the moisturizer. And this one here doesn't have any niacinamide, but niacinamide really is a great product. It's in a lot of Olay products. So you'll see them in Olay products, you'll see them with L'Oreal products sometimes. So the other option, if you have issues with acne, I don't need this, but my husband has had some little breakouts from being in a car accident and having some infection type things like that. So benzoyl peroxide, this is Equate from, I think this is from Walmart. So this is an easy way to just kind of tap on a couple little spots here, and if you have spots you need to take care of, works great. So that's one that I don't need again, but it's good for people who do need it. So going back to SPF, after I compared this with the SPF here, which stings and makes me crazy, and I almost couldn't drive home one day because it kind of traveled into my eyes, even though I skipped my eye area. So this is my Clinique one. This is my City Block It's SPF 40. This is a mineral sunblock. There's a couple chemical blockers in there, but mostly it's mineral sunscreens, and it does not bother my eyes. It doesn't burn my eyes. I can use it under my makeup to as a makeup base. I can use it to just do on my eyelids if I'm trying to do a little bit more coverage in my eye area. So this is just really gentle. So the doctors who created this product, well, Dr. Orenreich, who started the company Clinique, back in '68, something like that. He created a lot of these products, and then his son is also developing these things. David Orenreich is still working in New York, so he's creating new products too. But this is just really good and safe, and I like this one a lot. And one more thing, just another option, if you want to have a little bit of color to your skin, if you wanted to have a really good sunscreen, it's hard to find a foundation that's all mineral sunblock. And I really like this all mineral sunblock, again, because I don't want things to sting. So this is one by Physicians Formula. This is called, it's a Super BB Cream. It's a little bit too dark for my skin. It's in light, and I should have like a lighter color. But this one here is a 100%. It's all mineral sunscreen. So titanium dioxide is 5.76%. and zinc oxide is 2.94%. So every bit of sunscreen in this product is a mineral sunscreen. So it goes on beautifully. It doesn't sting. It doesn't bother my skin. It wears really well. And zinc oxide helps. It's also kind of a healing kind of thing. So if you have like irritated skin, zinc oxide can be used on baby rashes on little bottoms. That's what they have for pregnant moms to take care of their babies and things like that. But for every day, this is a really nice, easy, quick one. And then my other makeup that I have from Clinique that's all SPF, that has the SPF built into it, those are also right there and they're in there. So I'm wearing, right now I'm wearing my Even Better Glow from Clinique, and this is in, not bisque. Wow. So just the lightest color, so that's super colored. Just really light and pretty and all that. So that's that for the day. So hopefully you guys can check out some new products. If you want to follow some of those YouTubers and see what they're doing with their skincare and find the best things for you, that'd be a great way to go. And I definitely will keep on studying and learning and wanting the best for my skin. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll have you see you guys later. Bye bye.